Do opposites attract? And a couple of dating tips. I'm Joey Francis and you're watching The Joe Show. Do opposites attract? Actually, the answer is quite simple. The answer is yes. No. What it really is, and what I mean by that, is everything's about balance. So when you're looking for a significant other, what you want is to find somebody that has similar interests as you do. So you have something to base it on. Essentially, a reason to hang out. But on the other hand, you want them to be a little bit different as well. You want them to have different interests than you do. That way, it keeps things a little bit exciting and it introduces you to new things that the world has to offer. Maybe one of you is interested in science fiction. Maybe the other one is really athletic. And together you both share the interests of 80s movies. Just an example. Eventually, the science fiction dude is gonna go rock climbing. The rock climbing chick is gonna play video games and watch Star Wars. I mean, who knows? It could happen. But that's essentially what you want to do. You want to create balance. Because with balance, everything just works smoothly. If you two are too far apart, you're gonna have nothing to want to do together and nothing to start something off with, to base it off. So what you gotta do is, like I said, similar interests as well as differences. Yes and no. Quite simple. Moving on to the dating tips. I got 2 tips for you today. The first tip, and I mean essentially this is not just a dating tip, it's a tip for life. Whenever you leave the house, look presentable. It's just that easy. You have no idea who you're gonna run into or who you're gonna see. You might meet Mr. Prince Charming himself. You might meet your next boss. Who knows? That's why when you leave the house, look presentable. I'm not saying you gotta be dressed to the nines. I'm not saying the guy's gotta wear a 3-piece suit every time he wants to go out. Or a woman's gotta be in a cocktail dress. But look presentable. Look good. Pretty much, if you can look at yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, damn, I look good today, then you're on the right track. Now that we look good, we're gonna move to dating tip number 2. Make friends. Essentially, this is a big tip because when we meet people and we have that mindset of wanting a relationship, we tend to show the people that we meet only the things that we think they want to see in a person, and we leave out the rest. Well, the rest has to do with who we are. Without that rest, we aren't who we say we are. Therefore, if you go out there and meet people as friends, well then, you're going to learn a lot more about them, you're going to have a lot more fun with them, and you'll get a better understanding if the two of you should be or shouldn't be together. It's just that easy. I mean, I understand for guys out there, it's not the easiest thing to approach a woman, but think about this. When you approach a woman normally, you're thinking about she's really hot, you want to date her, where to take her on a date, you want to have sex with her, or whatever the case is. But if we take all of that, wrap it up in an ice ball, throw it over our shoulder and start fresh, and you look at that person as a person, not a piece of meat that looks good, not a potential wife, but just a person, and we get to know them for who they are, essentially, you'll have a lot better understanding of who they are. And then you'll know more if you want to pursue things, or if you just want to stay friends. Because at least at the end of the day, this is important, at the end of the day, at least, you've made a new friend. And who knows, maybe she has a friend, or he has a friend, that might be a better match for you. That's pretty much it for today. Thank you for watching. You know the routine. Subscribe up here, comments down here, follow me on Twitter, that's at Joey Francis. 2 S's at the end. And on that note, stay classy.